Hey, Tom No from Atomic Enrollment here. So it's a pretty exciting time we live in, and an interesting time because a couple of years back, everybody remembers the global event where we all had to stay indoors, couldn't meet people. Now, in this day and age, in 2025, you guys really have to leverage in-person events. That's a missing part of a lot of companies' marketing plans these days, especially the smaller companies, because they just have totally forgotten about the in-person experience. Anything, most we're very social creatures, and historically, right until very recently, all business slash a lot of business was conducted in person. Now, you want to marry the best of both worlds, right? Where you can have online leverage and in-person experience. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about micro events, leveraging in-person micro events. And we're going to talk about a case study where our client we've been testing it out for a couple months now. We've been testing it out with a few of our clients where we just launched it as a test. Now, some of our clients are launching events every week, because the demand is so strong and the returns are strong as well. I'm going to show you a case study where right now they're investing just a little bit of money into advertising, like $1,000 to start per event. Now they're going up to a couple $1,000s because it's going well, but even taking $1,000 and turning it into $10,000 in revenue within a relatively short period of time, I would say within about 2 weeks, from someone learning about you guys, a program, a company, and then turning them into a paying client. Now, for all you guys that sell to parents, I know you guys have been struggling. Selling to parents is a very tough cookie to crack because we have experience with it. We have programs, tutoring programs, college advisory programs where we sell to parents locally. That has been historically a very hard market to crack, but we have cracked it with these micro in-person events. So I'm going to talk about one particular case study here where we're selling to parents. And, for all you programs that are selling to parents, you guys are going to love this. I don't think there's anything that works better than this in terms of getting, putting $1 in and getting $10, $15 back in revenue within 30 days. If you guys have something like that out there, hit me up. I'd love to see it. All right, so let's talk about it. I'll talk about one case study client in particular. It's a client that has been with us for a couple of years. They're a local college advisory program. They're based in Long Island, New York City, and they've been a pretty steady, comfortable small business. We've been helping them explore ways where they can grow, and we've been successful with webinars and a couple things. But these micro events that we've been rolling out for the past couple months, there's nothing that beats it. And let me walk you through it. So a little bit more background about what these guys do. They sell anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 packages where they advise parents on helping their kids get into their dream colleges. Half of it's just good old college advising. They've gotten a lot of students into Ivy Leagues, the top choices of their colleges. But half of it's also helping them navigate the financial aid process, even for affluent, high-income families. So that's been their core offering. They do, I would say, bulk of their business through referrals, word of mouth. We've been helping augment their business through webinars and online social media advertising. Now we've added these advertising to micro in-person events. It's been incredible. So let's walk through the numbers and how we actually create the magic. So again, you programs that sell to parents, like tutoring programs, things of that nature, you guys really want to pay attention to this. Okay, so let's go through the funnel, the flow, and then I'll walk you through the numbers and some nuances of how you create success and how you actually make this work. So first things first, you have to pick a good location, and you want to cap these events at about under 30 people because you want to keep it tight and small. If it gets bigger than that, there's diminishing returns, and it's just a harder event to pull off, right? You need more space, there's more moving parts and things of that nature. So, and you're probably just one business owner, maybe one or two of you guys at the event. So you want to do pick an event. Ideally, it's a place where you have easy access to, like a conference room or kind of a common area in your existing place of work or office that either have access to for free or rent out for pretty cheap. If you're in a co-working space, you can rent out a co-working space. But the moral of the story is you want to keep these events at about 20 to 25 people in the room. That way you could keep it intimate. That way people there feel intimate. That way you feel intimate. And it's and you get the most out of it in terms of returns, closes, enrollments. So you can also rent event space, right? There's plenty of sites out there where you can rent event space, conference rooms for pretty cheap. I think they're in most cities and areas. It's about like $100 an hour. These events run about an hour. Less metropolitan areas, you can probably get it for under $100 an hour. Maybe you have some friends that you could borrow event space from. But the moral of the story is you want to keep it intimate and a place where you have easy access to. If it's a place where people have to drive to, make sure there's good parking. Make sure it's just not really out the way. So 1, location. 2, format of the event. Format of the event is very simple. It's just you're doing an information session, and that's what we're selling it as on the front end. There's nothing complex. It's you talking about what you guys do, maybe some cool nuggets, very interesting nuggets that people can't commonly find. Remember, you want to honor these people's time for coming. You don't want it just to be a complete pitch fest. You want them to have value, and they see that value, and then they sign up with you, pay you. All these parents and people going to these events, they know they're going to be sold something, right? They're not naive. They're not completely oblivious to that, but don't make it just a sales session. Give them value. And so it's like a little presentation. You don't have to do anything formal. If you have a deck, great. A simple deck, great, where you have talking points you can talk through. A Q&A session is very important. And then at the end, you have a call to action where you want people who are interested to book a call where they can speak to you the next day, anytime within the next 48 hours, 72 hours, ideally the next day. For the people that are really interested, they're going to hang around and you talk to them right after the event. Get them right then and there. All right, so let's talk about how you do that advertising to get people who've never heard of you guys coming to these events in person and meeting you guys. Targeting is very important, the way you target, right? So as you can see here, targeting very locally is important. And then we run them to a funnel, very simple funnel. We have a VSL talking a little bit more about the program, what they're going to learn by coming to the event, and basic things like time and day, when it is, what they're going to get out of it, registration form. You got to make sure you get their phone number, which I'm going to talk about. A little bit extra details that's going to help you qualify the person coming. Is very important. So for example, for a client here, it's very important we understand like what grade the child is in, because if they're a junior versus a freshman, juniors have more urgency versus a freshman in high school. So it's a pretty simple landing page. Yeah, this is a version 1 of the event page we rolled out, because we don't even have any footage from the event. Now we're capturing live footage, images. We'll have that content because we ran it a couple times, and this is going to be a more powerful page. But even with this, something that looks very simple and honestly not highly polished, we're able to make a lot of returns. We'll talk about what the returns are. So the landing page. Now, very important. This is a key part to making this work. Once someone registers, it's very important you call them and connect with them prior to the event happening. So good old sales process. As soon as they register for the event, within the hour, you want to give them a call or text, try to connect with them. And then in worst case scenario, like at least the morning of or the night before or the day before the event happening, because this is very important. You got to have an idea of like how many people are going to show up and who's going to show up, because even if you have the room filled and they're not good quality prospects, that's just a waste of time for everyone, most importantly you, and waste of money. So for this client in particular, we were able to help them ramp up with cold leads and traffic, where they've had a salesperson working our leads for the past over a year now. So they have a salesperson calling and confirming. But if you don't have a salesperson, you can do it yourself. You can do text messages. You give calls when you have the time. That's the beauty of this, right? It's an intimate, small group, right? You're going to have like 20 people in the room, so it's not that many calls to make. It's very manageable. But it's very important you make this call and text and get the confirmation. So once you actually talk to the prospect registered, you want to obviously give them some more information, but do some qualifying, right? Most importantly, like financial qualifications. Whatever financial qualifications you have, make sure you ask that on the call to get an idea of like, is this a good quality prospect or not? Now, as you get more people registered and have a backlog of people registered and just like this goes really well, you're running this like consistently, you're gonna have a backlog of people. You're gonna build a waiting list for these events, which we have now, which I'll show you. I'm gonna show you guys proof. I'm not making this up. So you can start like prioritizing people based on like their qualifications. So if someone seems remember, you wanna keep the room tight. You have like 20, 25 seats. So if someone seems way more qualified than one person and the room feels pretty packed, you wanna prioritize giving that person a seat versus the other person, because you could always bump them to the next event saying like, hey, we actually sold out. We're full. It also gives them more urgency and FOMO, right? Now, you want to have people show up to the live event, you run it. And again, the call to action at the event isn't to be like, pay me now. If you have experience selling from the front of the room, like go for it. But a pretty safe way to go about this is like just be like, hey, schedule a call with me and then let's talk this week. So you schedule them for a call. Now people don't show up because whether they missed it last minute, most people who said they're going to come don't miss it last minute. But let's say they did, or you didn't get a chance to connect with them and confirm that they're going to come. You schedule them for the next event, right? You keep pushing them to the next event. That's the beauty of like consistently running these events where you build a backlog and longer list of leads. Now, most exciting part, let's run through the numbers. So these are the actual numbers from the past 3 events with this client. So the first one, we're just giving it a soft test, soft run, decided to just spend a little bit of money, like $1,000 promoting this event. You promote this event about a week out. And initially, these are new ads, new creatives, new funnel. So it takes some time to calibrate. And we're still getting someone registered saying they want to come to this in-person event locally for about $35. People who register versus people who actually came is about 50%. And so we got 15 people in the room. Out of those 15 people in the room, about half the room scheduled calls. Remember, the beauty of the in-person event is like it builds a lot of trust really fast. So it speeds up the sales cycle. So you got 8 people booking a call out of the 15. And most of these people are going to show up for that call. We just kind of pegged it at 75%, but most of these people are going to show up for the call eventually, maybe not at the scheduled time, but you'll talk to them the next day or right after. And they closed 2 out of those people they talked to. So their average package is about $5,000. So they made $10,000 off that event. They're very excited, right? They turned $1,000 into $10,000. And then they were like, let's let it ride. Let's do another one immediately the next week, right? So we're like, okay, let's run it back. Let's do it again. We just have to make a couple updates on the front end. Let's spend a little bit more money because they had the budget, right? They proved it out. They have some confidence that it's going to work well. Same thing, cost per registration, that someone saying yes, they want to come, was about $35. We got 43 people registered. Half of those people registered actually showed up. About half those people in the room booked the call. 75% of people who booked the call showed up, and they closed 3. So they turned $1,500 into $15,000. That's a 10x return on their investment on marketing dollars. So just show you guys, right? This is a text from the business owner. It's like, this was their first event. You see the room, right? It's pretty intimate. He's just in the room, kind of whiteboarding and talking. I believe this is his meeting area in the office. He said, we crushed. He called me Dr. No. If you guys know that reference, good for you guys. At least 3 qualified prospects, 8, 9 people booked the call. Great job, team, right? So this first one, the next one's like, hey, we have way too many people for this current event. We're going to roll it out for the next one. We've confirmed 10, 11 people who are qualified. Buying units means they're qualified and they want to talk to the client, the company. And the next one, the most recent one, is these ads are continuing to pull like crazy. We signed up 50 people registered for the next upcoming one. So there you have it. Like, these are email and texts from the client. So the last event, we spend the same, and we were like, let's just try to replicate it again the exact same way. And we did it. $1,500 into 3 closes. Now we're going to spend a little bit more. See, the beauty of this setup is that even if you spend $1,000 promoting an event as a soft test run, you're going to get a return on it if you do it right. There's no other marketing funnel strategy tactic where you could pace anything, a platform, anyone, $1,000. Literally, if you go door knocking on your clients' homes and spend $1,000 on flyers, you wouldn't get a return like this, So this is the best, funnel, if you call it, that's going to work well, especially for you programs where you sell to parents. There's nothing that works better than this. So the idea for the next ones and the upcoming ones is just spend a little bit more and then chisel down all the metrics a little bit, get the cost per lead down a little bit, get a little bit more people showing up from the people registered, get a little bit more people in the room booking a call, and then you keep chiseling away at these numbers and you turn $2,000 into $30,000 in revenue. Imagine doing this every week, right? So let's add up 4 weeks. You got $90,000 in revenue. Would that change the trajectory of your business for you guys? I think for most small businesses, yeah, right? With this just very small investment of ad dollars. There you have it. So you got to leverage small in-person events. Obviously, as you scale, have more budget, you could turn these and you get more sophisticated, your teams get bigger, you can run bigger events. But I'm talking about for you small businesses that want to add like another $100,000 in revenue with the most efficient way possible. There's nothing that works better than this. Getting people who don't know you, social media ads, the right message, content, the right content to them on the front end, locally, the right targeting, right? and then you get them to register to come see you in person, and you close them. Remember, if you can build trust fast, it speeds up the sales cycle. And there's nothing like this that speeds up the sales cycle. And you're able to turn someone who's cold, never heard of you guys, and turn them into a paying client within 30 days. Yeah, there you have it. I hope you find that exciting as we did. Now we're going to go scale this very hard now for all our clients. This particular client wants to run this. He actually wants to run this in Florida. He's been planning to open up a new office. So this is going to like accelerate his new office launch. Honestly, he's probably going to want to do this for multiple cities going forward because he's cracked this model, right? So again, it works well for all programs, all high ticket businesses, but especially for you guys who sell to parents. Don't sleep on this. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care. Bye.